How's it going, guys, and welcome to the next episode of our Towns LP. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy you decided to join me here in the township of Boo. So what things have changed since the last time you were here? Well, all of our rooms are now occupied. We have 31 citizens. We should probably add to our stash of soldiers. The first action reaction team definitely needs a few more people, but for now we're just going to focus on decorating. So let's grab some dorm beds here. There we are. And we'll just throw those into place, not kind of uniformly. We'll throw them in random spots in the room just so everybody feels a little bit different. We'll give them some decorative space. We'll give them a little bit of rope with which to hang themselves. Now, we will also put treasureless chests in here, which don't sound very appealing. A treasureless chest, as an RPG player, an avid video gamer, a treasureless chest just seems worthless to me, but we'll do that. And we'll give everybody a couple barrels, just in random spots in the rooms, because everybody needs to store their stuff, so why not put it in a barrel? So we will do that right there, and then we're also going to put in candlesticks for everybody. So let's drop some candlesticks here. And how have you guys been? How have things been in your lives? Things have been alright for me. I've been busy, I've been tired, I've been working a little bit. My eye won't stop twitching, which I really, it's kind of like, it's not like my eye, like I don't have a facial tic, so I'm not like, like twitching my face like every 12 seconds, but like the underside of my eyeball has just been twitching for days. Hopefully that's not a sign of any cancerous growth or anything. Maybe I should go to a doctor, but no health insurance, screw it. We'll just man up. Worst cases, we'll try and duct tape ourselves back to good health. So there is no health, there's nothing you can do with duct tape that won't heal you. Duct tape is like magic. Like, I'm pretty sure that like somewhere at the factory where they make duct tape, they have a gnome and they just shake him by his legs over all of the duct tape piles, and like gnomish dandruff is actually like fairy dust or something, and it makes everybody feel better, and that's what makes duct tape fix everything. Like, I slit my entire leg open one time and my dad was like, you should probably get stitches for that. And I was like, and I just grabbed some medical gauze and some duct tape and just duct tape that mother shut, and it gave me a pretty gnarly scar. Like, in retrospect, it scarred pretty badly. Like, I've got a pretty, it basically looks like a bullet wound on the side of my leg, just with no exit wound. It looks pretty gnarly. It was a pretty deep cut. It hurt quite a bit, actually, and the funny thing about that, and if there is something funny about a situation that's painful, you should always try and find it, because you can find humor in all kinds of things in life, but the funny part about that whole situation is, like, when my leg got cut open, like, your leg opens up for a second and you're like, huh, that's not good. Like, there's that brief moment of realization where you're like, oh, this is all bad. There is no side to this situation. Oh, we got a tree keeper. Let's see, Duke Corcel with the Channel 3 News is fighting today on the news. He's fighting a tree keeper, but the funny thing about that whole situation is, like, there's a brief moment where your leg doesn't bleed. Like, even your body's like, oh God, what just happened? Oh God, it's in my leg, isn't it? And so it doesn't hurt and it doesn't bleed, and for a moment you're looking down into your physiology, and then all of a sudden, like, it's almost like it's on a timer, blood is just like, blood, no! And it just starts spraying everywhere, and then from that moment on, it's mostly just panic and despair. So let's go ahead, and we're going to work on our mausoleum in this episode, and I have bricks that I've already chosen. I'm going to use these rough bricks right here, and we're going to fill in that spot, and we're going to leave ourselves a little bit of space on each side for stairs, and that should keep us nice and even. And now I am going to save pretty frequently during the course of these episodes because Towns has been remarkably unstable for me recently. It's actually, even when I'm playing single player, it's been crashing left and right. I don't know how to fix it just yet, and I'm not really sure what to try. The issue isn't up on the forums, so I would really I would abhor, if I could use a really, really strong word, I would abhor to have to abandon this series based on bugs for now, but the game has not been kind to me, so here we go. There's save number 1 so that I can cut in and out, and we'll just see what we can do with the file. This may turn into kind of a cut and jibe, kind of a cut and slice surgical type operation. I'm going to get rid of those stones over there too because they annoy me. They're above surface and I hate them. Now we have a siege. Let's see who's showed up to mess with our society. It's 2 slimes. 2 slimy, gooey slimes, 2 tumescent slimes, and I think I've used that word already. I need to find new vocabulary. I can't help it, guys. I can't help it. Eventually you're going to recycle words. It happens from time to time when you just talk like I do, and it's weird because I just kind of I tune myself out. I really do. And how I practice talking nonstop is I just talk to myself all the time, and people make fun of me all the time for it, but, you know, haters gonna hate. We pay them no heed. They receive no heed from me. No homo. So let's go ahead and we'll destroy the mud here. And you always got to add that suffix to that whole thing. Always got to add it, because somebody will call pause on you, and then you'll be like, oh, I just got called pause on. I don't know if you guys are Boondocks fans, but I watch a lot of Boondocks. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. And I'm just going to click through some of this mud right now, and hopefully you guys don't mind too much. My townies are busy working on things, so hopefully nothing gets too nasty. I don't know where these slimes are headed. Let's take a look. They're gone, like ninjas in the mist. Like Gary Busey on Pill Day. They're just gone, hiding up in a tree somewhere, making weird faces. And now, hopefully these stairs match up. It's going to be a little saddening if... Oh no, here he comes! Here he comes. Does somebody have a... Is somebody with a weapon going to hit him first? Good. So hopefully he will get mauled, quite literally, because she's using a Morning Star right now. And yeah, that matches up pretty nicely. I think that'll look alright. So let's go ahead and place the next layer. And what we'll do is we'll go like so. And we're going to kind of adapt to the situation for now. That's going to lead up to our next layer. And from here, I think we're going to build from right... Let's see, we've got one on each side. So we will whittle away at that stone right there. And let's go back, and why don't you like what I'm doing right now? There we are. So we'll go 4 back on each side. There we are. And that's 5 back. Let's go with 5 back. I think that'll look okay. And we'll kind of slant this out a bit. There we are. And that means we're going to go 2 there and 2 there. And that looks pretty nice. And then for the remainder, perhaps we will go out 4, out 4. And I always find it easier to do these mirrored on both sides. Like some people, you work in different orders. People work in different ways, in different orders. And I always find it's easier, just for me personally, with the way that I forget things. You guys know I'm very, very forgetful. In fact, I think in my last Don't Starve episode, I didn't even make it through my tangents. Like I made it like halfway through the tangent and I forgot what I was talking about. I'll finish those tangents someday, I promise. And from there we'll do, let's see here, we'll go with 5 possibly. 5. There we are. And that's looking pretty nice. And we'll kind of slant that back in now. So we'll go 5 back in, 5 back in, and we will destroy the mud here so that we can start to cut back inwards. We'll go maybe 3 in. We're going to mess around with something weird here. Let's go 3 in, 3 in, and that's going to make the corner look pretty blocky. So maybe we'll take that, we'll remove that mud first and foremost, and we'll go like so that it doesn't look so strange and blocky. There we are. And from there, what do I want to do with this? Well, we'll go out like so, and maybe cut it back in that way. Kind of one short. There we are. And this will be the base floor plan for our mausoleum. And we'll see what we can do with this on the interior. I kind of just freehand drew that. That had no actual plan or anything. So none of this is drawn out. None of this was expected in this episode. But I decided that this is what I wanted to fiddle with during the course of this episode. So that's what we're going to do. And in order to take the edge off some of this, let's go ahead and eliminate that right there. So we'll kill you. Go away, mud block. And once that mud is up out of the way, will be taken care of. Now, other things that we should concern ourselves with. So this is looking pretty good. I'm liking the way it's going to turn out. We may be able to do something else with the architecture. Maybe run some... I mean, I don't know how roads band together, so let's play with that. I don't build roads very often. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 rows of stone here. We're going to go down to the proper layer, and we're just going to see what happens when we build those. I'm very interested in seeing generally what the game is going to do with the glue system when I put these 2 roads next to each other, whether it'll overall thicken the road or whether these are just going to end up in a weird swirly mass. And the last thing we need right now is swirlies. Swirlies are generally disagreeable, especially like, God, I've never witnessed somebody getting a swirly, but anybody who gives out a swirly deserves to have their ass kicked. Like, if somebody came to school the next day and just blasted the hell out of them, I would not be surprised, because really, a swirly seems like one of those things that would just be... There used to be a cartoon back when I was a kid, and this is a really old Disney cartoon. It was called Lambert the Sheepish Lion. And like, he's a lion that lives with sheep, and he's a coward because he thinks he's a sheep and he has to act like a sheep. So that's the general premise. And then a lion shows up and tries to eat his mom, and it's never good when anybody tries to show up to eat your mom. Like, generally, you want... I mean, if you're going to eat somebody's mom, you want to do it when nobody's home. But anyways, this wolf shows up and tries to eat his mom, and all of a sudden he's like, "Roar!" And he goes into lion mode, and he just like kicks the wolf's ass. And really, a swirly seems like it would put you in that situation. I realize that's a long way to get to the conclusion that I was getting to, but yeah, that's gonna look fugly. I just don't really... I had a feeling that might happen, and I don't know why it's programmed to do that, but in any case, don't give out swirlies, guys. Think of your friends. Don't give a whirly. So let's get rid of go away, Stone Road. I hate you, and you are ugly, and you don't know how to use glue properly. You were like me in the kindergarten, which is why I got held back. So let's place this final row of bricks here. And God, I am hoping so hard that this episode doesn't crash. If this episode crashes on me, I will just weep giant tears. And so we're going to continue saving. I hate saving on camera. I cannot tell you how much I loathe saving on camera, but really, I don't want to lose this episode because I feel like I'm off topic a little bit, but at least I'm marginally entertaining myself. I mean, that's good. And now, let's play around with our roads over here. So let's take a look at our roads menu. And there's really no road here that I like very, very much. Let's see if maybe these roads combine. I really would like for our road tiles to combine in some kind of cogent sense, so hopefully these will work out, unlike their kind of crumbly brethren. Hopefully now that we have a bit more cohesion in this road, like this road seems a bit more laid out. It takes more materials, so I may end up having to do some mining, but I don't care. I don't care. You can't make me care because I've got a bigger workforce now. And I'm going to assume that nobody got eaten or dissolved by a slime. And by the way, thinking of slime digestion, did you know that when an owl or like a bird of prey, a raptor, not the kind of raptor from Jurassic Park, but a raptor, when it eats something, it just like digests the teeth and the bones and just poops them out? Like, the concept of pooping out a bone just seems like it would be awful. Like, who designed that? In terms of evolution, like, at what point during the divergent process did we think that pooping bones was a great idea? Or is it really it's not really something anybody thought out, it's just a product of the situation. It just happened. It kinda happened. Let's take a look at our stone supply. We're still good there, 250. But yeah, if the sacrifice for eating meat was to poop out the bones, oh God, I'm not sure, I'm not sure that I'm willing to make that sacrifice. I might have to make a dash quick for veganism. Luckily, Slim Jims don't have bones, so we're good to go. Now, they've almost got our entire... What's going on here? Are people sleeping, or like what has occurred? I think everybody's kind of pooped out to keep the general theme of the episode going, to keep the general, immature monologue going. It seems like everybody's sleeping or maybe making food, both of which are, sometimes you gotta sleep. There we are. But as I told you, I've got an eye twitch, and I looked it up, and I got kind of paranoid, because I'm kind of a hypochondriac sometimes, and I was like, my eye is twitching, and it's been like 6 days of just the bottom eyelid of my eye twitching, and I looked it up, and they're like, you're exhausted. You are literally just riding the line of exhaustion. I'm like, oh, is that what it does? And it's weird, because I am an accomplished sleeper. Like, as far as sleeping goes, I am like the... well, I'm like the pre-cheating, the pre-doping Lance Armstrong. Well, maybe the concurrent doping Lance Armstrong of sleeping. Like, if sleeping was a bike race, I would definitely be somewhere in the lead. Like, if sleeping... Ooh, let's see what happens with our road down here. I am really interested in what might happen right here. Please bond. Roads, I hope you bond together. Are you almost starving? Because he's got a debuff. It looks... Oh, that looks amazing! It looks amazing! Okay, I have a renewed excitement for the episode now. I'm so glad that worked out, because that's going to give us some roading. And that's not a word, I just made it up. Some roading. So use that everywhere until we convince, because I've realized that linguistically, all it takes for a word to be accepted as a real word is you just have to convince people to use it a lot, like nubity and roading. So I'm going to be in the business of inventing my own words from now on, and I fully expect you guys should use them as well as me. I will risk looking stupid in public if you guys will, and we will make these words real words. So that pavement actually turned out pretty good. That pavement's looking pretty smexy. It's looking very nice. And so, as soon as, please God, tell me nobody's stuck right here. If somebody's stuck, we will destroy these muds. Is there a mud falling right there? No, there's no mud fall right there. There is no slumping occurring. And I'm liking the layout of this right here. We are going to have to leave grass, I think. I don't know if... Let me check my decorations menu here. My decorating menu. I've lost my way. I'm lost! Actually, I think we could put these wherever we want. It looks like it comes with its own dirt. Now, graves. Coming with their own dirt. So that's good. And now that they're placing these in place... They're placing these in place, not to be redundant. Let's take a look around. I'm going to save again. God, I'm so paranoid. The last 5 times I've tried to film this episode, crashed every single time. And it makes me terrified, guys, because I don't want to lose content. I'm in the business of gaining content, not losing content. Or, I mean, I'm in the business of gaining contentment as well. I mean, I think aiming for contentment in life is a very, very good thing to do. Like, I think most of us probably are going to spend most of our lives trying to find that perfect zen point where you're like, I accept all this. I accept the fact that someday I am going to be a dead husk. I accept the fact that really, I make video games. I make video game videos. I post them on the internet while talking to myself. Really, I'm talking to you guys, though, so I don't think it's that weird. Somebody told me, isn't that a little weird one time? I'm like, well, depends how you look at it. We're just going to use generic stone blocks right here because we're going to cover them up with road anyways. We're going to road the hell out of them. So, we're going to road them hard and put them away wet. So, once those blocks are in place, we should be... well, we should be more or less sorted out. I'm excited to play with this right here. I may actually put a garden on top of this building as well if I'm feeling super... if I'm feeling motivated, I guess, at its most simplistic form. If I'm feeling motivated, I may roof this off right here and connect this, and we'll have two rooftop gardens that come together. Maybe a little archway right here. Yeah, that's what I like to think about. That might be kind of cool. I got the juices flowing, and not just the apple juice that my mom bought me earlier that's sitting on the desk right now. There are multiple forms of juice flowing, and you know what? Let's go for another save because, frankly, I'm paranoid as hell right now. So there we are. We're back in business. Hopefully, now I've run into another issue. Fraps, sometimes when you save games, Fraps likes to be like, and drop the screen. And it is what it is, you know, like, well, sometimes it drops the screen. So I may just be totally making vapor videos right now, to borrow a term from vaporware. I may be making vapor videos, vapor vids. That's another word. Use that one, vapor vids. It's a video that an LPer promises you that you don't think is ever going to happen. A vapor vid. So now we've got those blocks in place. Please don't cancel the job. And that's looking very nice. Very nice. So we'll go back to our floor plan here. We're going to lay down some even nicer bricks. Now these are kind of white for my taste. These are a little light. Now, there don't appear to be any darker motifs though, so I may be stuck with it, which, you know, you do what you gotta, and I'm going to cancel those jobs right there. I actually don't like those. Let's go, and we'll go with this right here. That looks nice. That'll work out. And I'm going to let this episode run for a little while. I mean, I've got things to do in about 20 minutes, but I'm not really super inspired to go do them. It's one of those situations where you've got like a study group, and you realize that it's going to be like going to the dentist and the proctologist combined. It's just something nobody looks forward to. Like, is there anybody in the world that is like, yay, I'm going to the dentist. This is the best day of my life. I love going to the dentist. I hope I get drilled on. Oh, I guess unless you're really paranoid about your teeth, like you're one of those people that really just associates with the quality of your teeth, maybe you could get that excited, but, you know, I just don't see it. It's like cleaning out the attic if you have like black widows and things. Like, I live in California, so there's black widows everywhere. And for those of you that don't know what a black widow is, I mean, presumably I would hope people know what a black widow is because they're deadly. They kill you. And a black widow is this giant greasy looking black spider. Like, they're weird. They're shiny. They're shiny like they have oil on their surfaces. And that just adds to the whole mystique of the spider, the whole threatening mystique. And they're probably about the size of, an American quarter, a United States quarter dollar coin. They're enormous spiders. They're greasy looking, and they have a giant red hourglass on their tummy. And they are everywhere out here. Like, they live underneath stuff too, so you'll be like tearing up your deck, and all of a sudden you'll see one of those little buggers, and they're aggressive as hell, man. They don't pull punches, they don't mess around, they're territorial, and they'll come right at you, so that makes it even worse, is that they're aggressive, which just adds to the terror. And so let's get that other stairway in place. And speaking of things with things on their tummies, like, I was at you know how they have water parks and they have the dolphins come out and the dolphins are like, ee, and they're like running around being all dolphin-y and everybody claps and they're like, yay, the dolphins are doing tricks. And so I got picked one time to go down and pet the dolphin, and I rubbed the dolphin's tummy. And now I come to find, in retrospect, I read this in a biology article the other day, so bear with me here. Dolphins feel sexual pleasure when you rub their tummies. So I think I inadvertently, as a child, some pedophile dolphin, I gave a dolphin a gibber. And I have to come to terms with that. I called my therapist, and he says he thinks we can work through this, but I gave a dolphin a gibber, and I feel terrible about it. I feel very exploited. I feel like SeaWorld should owe me some volume of money. Because really, I feel like before you go down to pet a dolphin's tummy, they should tell you, you know, the dolphin is smiling for a reason. Like, he looks happy, he's nodding very aggressively for a reason. And I distinctly remember the dolphin smiling and nodding with his mouth open. And since, you know, I feel like some therapist somewhere is wringing his hands and smiling, knowing that he's going to be able to put his child through his first semester of college based off some of the damage we're going to have to undo here. So why is no one placing these stairs? What is going on, gentlemen? Are we low on food? Like, what is the catch here? Because those stairs have been queued up for quite a bit. We've got 17 cakes. We've got several pies. We've got no bread laying around. Actually, no, we've got no bread laying around, but we don't really want bread anyways. So the bread area of our nutritional pyramid, and I heard that they redesigned the nutritional period. I don't know if the nutritional pyramid, they redesigned it at one point, and it turned into like this crazy flowchart, and I was like, yeah, there's no way a 12-year-old's gonna be able to navigate his way through this thing. You literally just condemned us all to obesity because we can't understand your flowchart. You are so inefficient that you just made me fatter. Like, do you realize the implications of what you have done, my good man? Do you realize what you have done? Now, I'm going to continue wheedling away at this mud, just eliminating it entirely. Maybe we'll put some kind of wall back here, some kind of design. Like, we need some kind of religious symbol that signifies the people of Boo. We also need a god that they worship, and I think the god Amok is who they're going to worship. They're going to sound kind of evil. They run around in skull helmets, so actually maybe we'll make a society that's dedicated to evil and basically the dispensation of general hatred and chaos, because they are wearing skull hats. They have severed the heads of their foes and are deciding to wear them now, or at least the severed heads of chickens and cows and goblins. So actually that's what we can get to as well. Let's start making our chicken farm. We'll kind of line that up. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm feeling a little lazy at this given moment, so let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can accomplish. And actually, with a walkway, that might work pretty nice. So let's go right there. And now that we have this in place, there we are. And that needs to go right there. I can already tell already that's not going to work. So we'll go right there. And what we shall do is let's put in the first layer of this walling right here. Let's choose... This looks kind of stony. I like that. So we'll go like so. And we'll just kind of wall that off, and we'll put in the next layer as well. And I think this is going to kind of connect to the kitchen area. And maybe actually we'll make a door that goes into it, possibly. Quite possibly. Maybe. That might look nice. And from what I understand, chickens can't pass through the farming doors, so we'll leave them locked, and that'll actually give us a decent bone supply too, because I would like to get everybody into bone gear. That seems to be a nice middle zone. Like, some people prefer spiderite. That seems like a bit of a time investment. I'm just gonna go with bones. That may be the easiest way to do this. And now, I like the way that's going. I don't know if I'm gonna leave this outdoors, like uncovered, or if I want to put a roof over this. I'm going to ponder it in some of my free time. So while I ponder, I think I'm going to break off the episode, because I really don't know where I want to go with this right now, and I don't want to freehand. I just kind of want to sit and stare at it for a moment. So that's what we're going to do. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the township of Boo as we build this kind of mausoleum church to the death god Amok. The death god, the god of hatred and general pissing off your neighbors, the god of peeing in Cheerios, essentially. That is really what we dedicate ourselves here in Boo. We dedicate ourselves to peeing in other people's Cheerios and just general trolling and misery. So, I'm glad you've decided to join me here while we build this, and I hope you'll choose to join me next time. Take care out there, everybody.